So why I still look old? That's a top question asked in clinic and online. Let me address it and fix that today, and one simple change you can make now. So the thing is, you can tighten your skin but still look old. I know, that sounds kind of rude, right? But it's actually the key to understanding facial aging after about 45 years old. Here was an exact comment from a patient. Doc, I had a facelift almost 1 year ago. My skin waddle is gone on my neck, my jowls are better, but I still look older. Mature was another word she used to describe this. I look mature. I'm not sure anyone wants to be told they kind of look mature or think they look mature, although there is a positivity to that. But look at this picture. This is exactly what she's talking about. Age 40 and now age 60. Phenomenal skin, you're going to say, right? Exactly. The drape is still tight. The skin is great. But be honest here. If you saw the woman on the right in real life at dinner, let's say, what age would you guess her to be? Think about that in your mind and put it in the comment section below. I'm interested to hear. And then now look at this one. This is even more interesting to me. What if someone removed their wrinkles at 60? Because this is something we see in clinics. Think of something like, say, we do a CO2 laser, 3 or 4 treatments. That would be around a $10,000 decision. That kind of a result, it's quite common now, especially with adding things like biostimulators, exosomes, RF, creams, and Sculptra, and so on. But in the after, they do look better. I'd say it's actually a phenomenal result. If you say, here's $15,000 result from the before and after, say, okay, that's a great result. That would be a commonplace in a clinic. But does the person look younger in the after? You be the judge. I'm very interested to hear this. I do this for a living, and I'll tell you, that person after healing from those treatments are going to say, Doc, what am I seeing on my face that still says 60? It's still there, but I can't put my finger on it. Think about that in your mind right now. Can you put your finger on it? Because I'm going to do it for you from what I see. Then we'll get into the solutions. And this is the part that makes patients go, that's it, Doc. Because skin tightening can improve the drape. Less neck wobble, tighter skin, tighter jawline. But if the support underneath, and that's what we're going to talk about, is shrinking, you are still read as old because your face is not just a curtain. It's a scaffold and a curtain. The scaffold is the bone. It's kind of like the t-shirt and the hanger. Change the hanger shape and the shirt hangs differently. That's kind of on my mind because in the new year I bought these new hangers. But what I notice is you hang your shirt on that new kind of hanger, it drapes differently and you get wrinkles in it. Not good. But you can see the shirt is really the skin. The scaffolding underneath is key. Does that make sense? It's osteoporosis of the face, also known as the kind word for it is quote unquote bone remodeling. People like that softer term better, whichever term you choose. And no, here's the interesting part. The DEXA scan I told you to get, the one that measures your body bone, it often does not pick up early face changes. Bone remodeling of the face is different than the spine and the hip that they measure in your DEXA. So you can have a normal DEXA scan that measures your bone and still have meaningful facial alveolar bone changes. Alveolar bone. Also remember, tiny, small changes in the face, they will dramatically affect the look. You don't need a big change like in the spine or in the hip. A tiny change in the face, a millimeter on the lip, and you're going, I want a lip lift. So that's another reason it's so important. And because many have gum disease and inflammation, that will cause local bone loss around the jaw and mouth, even if the spine density is fine. You see then the picture I'm painting for you, the face is very different than the body here. It's why nobody talks about this and most don't even know about it. But you do because you follow me on this channel. Before we get into the solutions, if you like this, like and subscribe. I give you a ton of value for free, nothing to buy. Only a small percentage of you who watch are subscribed, and if you've watched 2 or more videos, take the time and subscribe. Now let's talk about what actually changes, and I'm going to make this super easy. There are 4 bony zones where aging patterns tend to show up the most. And you know these before I tell you. Around the eyes, the midface is one you probably don't think about. Around the nose, a little bit thought about, and the jaw. The majority of you talk about that one. Here's what it looks like in real life. Around the eyes, you get hooding, hollows, tear troughs. And here's the thing, the eyes start to look smaller even though your eyeball didn't shrink. Why is that important? The female has a wide open eye. So it's very important to the female to have a wide open female eye. The male, the brow is low set and we have squinty eyes. More of a squinty eye. So when the bony changes for a male, it's not as important kind of, it's not as traumatic or noticeable. But for a female where the round eye says feminine and beauty, it makes a bigger difference. Now I said mid-face. You might not think of that, but that's here. You get involution of the mid-face and the cheeks look flatter. Around the nose, the piriform aperture we call it, support changes and you get deepening of the nasolabial folds and the nose can look bigger. Because many say, why does my nose get bigger and wider? You'll say, as I age. In the jaw, you get the jowl. I don't need to talk much about that. But that's the pattern feel, but they can't explain. And it's why tightening alone disappoints. And now you're going to ask naturally, why at 45, doc? Because bone is alive. It remodels every single day, especially what we call the alveolar bone that's around your teeth. And you have 2 crews. Here's the important thing to remember before the solutions. There are 2 crews working all the time. Osteoblasts, they build bone. Osteoclasts, they break it down. When you're younger, those 2 crews, well, they're balanced. Estrogen declines around menopause, that balance, it shifts. So you break down more than you make. The osteoclasts ramp up. We don't want that. The number 1 missing tool and the one change you can make for your face, vibration. Simple, right? Simple vibration. But I'm going to give you practical daily information in a second. But first, the molecule you need to know about because it explains the whole story. It's called RANKL, RANKL. If you forget that name, remember the job that it does. RANKL is basically the make more osteoclast signal. Make the signal that breaks the bone. It's the text message that tells the body to start the breakdown crew. We don't want that crew. So, where does vibration fit in? I'm going to be very precise on this. We do not have definitive proof that a facial device rebuilds facial bone in humans. That complete forward-looking study, it wasn't done the way I'd want yet. But here it is. We do have lab biology that makes vibration interesting because it seems to tap the brakes on the exact pathway that creates those bad osteoclasts. There's a study where researchers took osteoclast precursor cells in a dish and used that RANKL I told you about to force them toward becoming osteoclasts, and then they added low magnitude vibration signals. Here is that study right here. The result you're asking? Fewer osteoclast type cells formed with the vibration. And furthermore, the cells dial down osteoclast tool genes, so the equipment the osteoclast used to chew through bone. Translation of this, vibration acted like a brake on RANKL, the osteoclast pathway in that model. Let's look at that study for a second. Now here's the study I'm talking about. In the International Journal of Medical Sciences, low magnitude, high frequency vibration inhibits RANKL-induced osteoclast differentiation. They talk about here, osteoclasts are the key participants in regulation of bone mass. We want bone mass. Low magnitude, high frequency vibration has been found to be anabolic to bone in vivo. Anabolic meaning building to bone. In vivo means in real life. However, this study aimed to investigate the effect of this on osteoclast differentiation in vitro, meaning what did these cells do? How did they respond in a petri dish, in a setup outside of the body, so that we can gain understanding in the mechanism of action? Because it's good to know what it does. Actually, that's what we care about on this channel. But scientists want to know why it works in what way. And here you can see the mRNA expression of the cathepsin K, MMP-9, and TRAP, TRAP, were down-regulated by the vibration. Furthermore, the vibration also inhibited the expression of the CFOS protein in the RANK-L treatment group. And they conclude, our results suggest that the vibration can inhibit the RANK-L-induced osteoclast, the ones we don't want, differentiation. That's the key. That gives new insight into the anabolic, the growth effects of vibration on bone. Let's move on. That's key. Now, of course, cells in a dish are not the same as your face, right? But this gives a biologically plausible pathway for why vibration works on your face. And clinically, and here's the most important part, in practice, so in clinical practice, seeing patients in real life, vibration also helps skin quality and that tired face look. Because we aren't a petri dish. You're not a petri dish. A scientific study is fine, but what do we see in real people? And now, if you want the most powerful anti-aging bone strategy after 45, you'll want to add these 7 items as well. Number 1, eat enough protein. Number 2, strength training. Number 3, sleep. Number 4, hormone management and bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. Number 5, not smoking. Number 6, not overdoing alcohol. Number 7, vitamin K2D3. And I'll link a video on the end of that one. It's really important because most people are low on vitamin D. But you need not only D, but K2. You saw my level, I'll put it up here again, very low, even though I was getting a lot of sun at the time. And I was low on vitamin D, and I had been traveling. I've been off of my K2D3 supplements. I went back on them, and I'll update you on what my 10,000 international units did for me. But don't forget about K2D3. And something to be aware of that few think about before we move on is that your face bone is tied to your teeth. You remember I said jawline was one of the changes that you all talk about? Well, along the jawline where the teeth go into the bone, they don't just sit in the bone. There's something called alveolar bone. It's special bone that holds your teeth in place. It's extremely remodeling active, meaning it's prone to remodel, and it's extremely inflammation sensitive. It's why I and my clients use red light in the mouth and near infrared to be specific, because near infrared penetrates deeper than red light alone. So you don't want just your 630 nanometers, but you also want your 830 nanometers too. Anyone who's lost a tooth and noticed the face changed, you're spot on. Now, where does my vibration fit in? How do you practically do this? I personally and my clients use it in 2 ways. Comment below if you use it and how you do. Help us all learn. Number 1, the first and easiest way is a gua sha tool. Many of them have vibration. Mine has vibration. You can hear that. And red light. But when you're doing your gua sha, of course, there'll be vibration involved. So you get red light, gua sha, and vibration in one step. Especially in the morning, when your neck looks a little saggy, your eyes are puffy, and the jowls feel like they showed up early, you kind of get addicted to it. Number 2 is my Plasma Glow Boost. You want to think of that as a tool that helps your skincare work better, get it deeper so it can work where it needs to be. Not a reason to buy more skincare. In other words, make the skincare that you have work better. It helps you get more out of what you already own. Save money. It's reusable. I also know many of you have vibration plates. I did a complete video here and you can watch that. So if you're over 45 and you feel like your face is changing faster than your skincare can keep up, you're not crazy. And no, it's not just collagen, it's remodeling. A good remodel always strengthens the structure first. A bad remodel just slaps on new paint and hopes nobody notices the floors are slanting. And when you understand remodeling, you stop chasing tightness alone. and you start supporting structure. Now, here's my video on the exact gua sha morning routine that you can follow next. Comment below and keep your skin beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.